Evening, humans. I'm proud to be working with treestuff.com and bringing you this unboxing, overview, and first impression of the Talon Leg Mounts for handsaws. These were actually produced with the input of Nick Bonner, maybe all by Nick Bonner, I'm not exactly sure, but I know he had something to do with it from the video. So what is this and how is it more beneficial than others? This is going to be one of those instances where I can't speak too much on previous products because I haven't tried them, but from what I understand, previous leg mounts simply strapped the scabbard right on your leg. And looking at the back of this, you can tell from all this plastic up here, it would not be comfortable. We have these rough, hard plastic edges rubbing into your leg all day. I wouldn't want to even try that, honestly. In addition, clamped straight to your leg, it's going to create a barrier where there's no airflow right there, so on hot days you're going to be sweating like crazy. It's going to be filling up your scabbard with sweat, rusting out your blade. Generally just going to be a bad time all around. The big benefit that the Talon provides is that there's a barrier. It's actually two separate sets of straps. Sorry for that droning noise, but it's too cold for me to turn the heater off. Okay, so we've got the upper strap and the lower strap. So this is the strap that goes around your leg, and there's a separate rubber strap that connects the scabbard onto the base plate. Used together, you get this nice foam neoprene pad, and this is what's going to sit on your leg, so your scabbard's actually raised up off your leg, so you have cooling air. There's not going to be any of that rubbing from the hard plastic edges on the scabbard, so you're not going to chafe. You're going to get some drainage with your sweat, so it's not going to be filling up your scabbard and whatnot. And it's going to be a lot more comfortable. This is actually really nice. That's not going to be any problem on the skin whatsoever. And it is guaranteed to fit any scabbard. As you can see, I have my assortment here. My personal Zubat 390, my work Zubat 330, and my steel branded ARS handsaw. So I'm going to go ahead and slap it on each of these and see how they work. You can clearly see we've got a pretty narrow scabbard on this one and an incredibly wide scabbard on this one. And the way that you do attach them is you simply undo your leg strap, go ahead and take it out, and the directions are also here on the packaging. But so you separate your leg strap, you put your scabbard on with the scabbard strap, and you can cut that off if you want, and then you reattach the leg strap. So let's go ahead and do that. Pull it through, tighten it up. You can see it was definitely made to work with much bigger scabbards. Here on this small one, there's a whole lot left to play with. I'm not going to trim it because, well, I'm going to use it on other saws as well. So now we've got it around the scabbard of the saw, we'll go ahead and redo the leg strap. Alright, so now you just slap your leg in here, do the strap. Since I already demonstrated this one, I'm going to turn the camera off and go ahead and knock out the second one, and put it on. I got it mounted up on this little tiny guy right here. So go ahead and slap it on. I've got my Timberland Pro loggers on, so pretty beefy boots. Haven't put this on before, so not sure exactly where I'm going to go with it. Let's just do it kind of loosely and then play it by ear. Oh yeah, that's handy. I'm gonna like this. And it's light enough and not so tight that you really don't even notice it is there. And I'm sure you can crank down on it if you want. Make it super tight. think this is going to be especially nice because I haven't done the final review on the recoil lanyard yet, but with the way I have it set up and sitting, my saw sits right here and my handsaw is right here, and it can kind of get mixed up at times. So having this down and out of the way is going to be pretty sharp, and I won't have them getting tangled up. Let me go ahead and slap it on. So I put it on this Mammoth. It's about 390, even with a scabbard as incredibly large as this. Fits pretty well. Yeah, it's gonna be handy. Now, how hard it is and whether or not your handsaw falls out occasionally is dependent on the manufacturer of the scabbard and the saw. I think these Zabats, they're pretty sturdy and they're not gonna go anywhere. Others may. And with it just being straps on the inside, shouldn't have any issue wearing your spurs with them either. As I said, you can position these anywhere up so I can move it up. I don't have a whole lot of play in these because I'm only 5'9", so my legs aren't super long. With one of this size, I don't have a whole lot of play, but with the smaller one, the 330 is what I'll be climbing with mainly. That's what I'm gonna put on next. You'll have more play with something that size. Pretty sweet. Got it on the Zabat 330, which I'll actually be climbing in. You can see here on this smaller scabbard, I've got a lot more room to play with where I have it set. On that 390, there wasn't much. It was like the whole side of my leg. That thing's huge. Pretty sharp. I'm liking it. You can see you have space there so it's not rubbing on your leg. The only thing touching your leg are the straps, those neoprene pads. First impressions, I think I'm going to like it. And I know I'm kind of sounding like a broken record when it comes to the stuff I've been reviewing for tree stuff, but if you've watched my channel, I think you know that I don't shy away from giving out negative critiques and criticism. So far, every product they've sent me has really been excellent. This one I don't think is going to be any different. Some of the things I really like, it's got this leather tab on there, so that comes in handy. That'll last a long time. They're well built. The plastic in these is really dense, even denser than the scabbards themselves. So I don't think that's going to be a weak spot at all. I don't foresee that breaking, and if it does, you have a lifetime warranty on here. Now, don't expect to go abusing these and having them replace them. But, you know, if they break due to any kind of a defect, I'm sure they'll probably just send you a new pair for free. The rubber on the strap for the scabbard itself, pretty thick. So that's not going to be a weak spot. That'll last a long time. It does kind of form a bump when folded over on the inside against your leg. It even says on the directions though, you can trim it off. I'd say probably try, if you have a couple different handsaws, you know, you pick the one you climb with the most, and then maybe trim it to that size. If it's the biggest one, you'll still be able to use on your smaller ones. If it's not your biggest one, you may limit yourself in only using it with your smaller handsaws. On these smaller handsaws with this access, that does kind of create a little bit of a bump in there. I will trim that off. Overall, I don't really see anything to complain about on these. The pads are thick. Yeah, these are pretty sweet. Definitely looking forward to trying them out. You know, I'll let you know how I like them later on after I get used to them and kind of wear them in and do a couple climbs. Check the description below for a link to the Tree Stuff product page for the Notch Talon Leg mounts. Use the discount code online when checking out to receive 7% off your entire order at treestuff.com. And as always, have a good one, humans.